Hello, 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 hello. How's everyone doing today? How is everyone doing today? Oh, it's busy, busy. Sorry, I was cutting the grass and I lost track of time. Usually we're pretty close to on time, but today I was cutting the grass and then I finished cutting the grass and it's like, wait a minute, I go live in 10 minutes. I need a shower. Oh, shoot. Like running. How's everyone doing? How is everyone doing? It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday. Get all my cameras on. That goes on. Are you on? You're on now. So what are we doing today? Apronless. Oh no, my apron. I can't do anything without my apron. What's going on here? We'll wear the LDO one because it's getting warm out and the LDO one is light. Cutting grass, that's for a year. I have sons for yard work. Yeah, my little guy's 6. He can't really push the lawnmower yet, unfortunately. One day. There we go. There you go. Happy apron. You got the apron. Let me fix the mic. Sorry for the noise. Yeah, we're getting rid of this here. Too much room. How is the ACI going? It's not going because I don't have it yet. I got a fan now. It's only 22 in here right now. It's not too bad, but it's gonna get hot quick out here. I got a feeling. Yeah, the AC is waiting on the budget. Put it that way. Some of these printers. Cool. Salmon, you will never get a printer from me. People who ask YouTubers for printers and free shit, most annoying people in the world. If you ask on Twitter, I mute you instantly or block you. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do it. It's super annoying. Don't do it. It's getting to the point, like, it's not getting to the point, but it's getting, I've been asked enough that it is like pet peeve now. So don't do it. There's your warning. You ask again, you won't be asking again. Been out enjoying the Northern Lights. I did. I saw them a bunch on Friday. We didn't get any on Saturday, but it was raining and I was streaming. But I didn't get them on Saturday. Or I think we did, but it was cloudy. So, mini split ACs are best for cars. Oh, I know. I'm well aware. I've researched it all and everything. I know exactly what I'm going to get. It's just budget depending right now, unfortunately. It do be how it is, though. It do be how it is. You can live over here for now. I need to make some room. I need to get this off the bench. Because why not have a skill silo? Go. I've got so many partial spools of filament on the floor right now I gotta get rid of. Thank God it's garbage day tomorrow. I have got so many boxes of stuff to throw out that have just been piling up in here. I've been waiting on recycling day. They're visible from Essex County on Saturday and Sunday, nowhere near Friday's level. Yeah, the problem was it was rainy. It was rainy. Get that Mr. Cool. I did send him an email and I never heard a reply. So we'll see. So in the meantime, since we don't get Mr. Cool, why not get some waifu cups and use code Canuck Creator on Gamer Subs for 10% off? How about that? Because I'm actually thirsty. And also enter for your chance to win some Polymaker filament. Link in the video description. I should have reminders pop up here about everything throughout the stream. I think I have them set up right now, so we'll see. Can you get a free rant? I don't know. I got to start charging for them. So, by the way, we printed this on Saturday. If you're wondering how the toaster came out, let me fix the ISO so it doesn't get blown out. I don't know why this camera isn't saving the values. It saves every other value except for ISO. I don't know why. Every time, right there, 2000 ISO. Every time, every other value stays. Every other value stays. My frame rate, every other value for cameras will save when I power this camera off, except for my ISO. It always defaults to auto. Boop. And then the little lock thingies work. The only downside is the first layer kind of sucked. So these work. In terms of how free these move, not many. On this one, only the 5 mil one does, or the 0.5. And on this side, the overhangs weren't too bad. So that came out okay. The little gears spin okay, but the first layer on them kind of sucked. And on this side, only the, well, there you go. Yeah, but this part works. But yeah, in the bin. Can't wait for the V-Core 4 Super Height. That'll be interesting. No contest link. Reload. It's in the video description. Because 62 people have entered. Okay, so move the wood over here. So what are we doing today? What are we doing today? Well, you know, we just finished it relatively recently. Oh, there we go. Dang it, that is gonna annoy the heck out of me. There's an itty bitty gap. There's an itty bitty gap. That is gonna annoy me. Let me fix it. I'm sorry, let me fix it. Let me fix it. Let me fix it quick. Streaming tools, overlays, main overlay, edit. Save. Also, why do you have a gap down here? Why is there a gap here? Is my overlay not centered? There we go. Okay, there we go. There we go. I gotta refresh the overlay so it works. There we go. There we go. Okay. So close, 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 close. There we go. Okay. My son has commandeered the S1 Pro and is printing a battleship Benchy for a buddy of his. Nice. Am I gonna do some build streams? If they send me a kit, I will build it, and then we will do stuff with it. Simple as that. You're getting the Polymaker dryer today? Awesome. Hope you use the affiliate link in the description. I like it. It's a nice little system. It's probably not the best for like the super like high-end nylons and whatnot, but for keeping your pla, your and your abs dry, it works pretty good. And it's nice that you only need to buy one dryer. So you buy one dryer and you can just have one, or you only need one like dryer, and then you can just have multiple storage cans. So that's kind of nice. Any updates on the Milo build? It's built, it goes burr. I just haven't had the time to actually do any big burr projects on it yet because I've run out of room again. Does it have seals? Yes. So how, well, kinda. Let me grab it out so you guys can see. Grab this here. So here's the dryer. So we're gonna do a quick little review of the Polymaker dryer. If you wish to buy one of these, I have a Polymaker link in the description. Go buy it. I have no problem putting an affiliate link for this thing because I'm actually using it. So you have your can, which you put your filament in, and it's got this little thing, a desiccant here, and a little hydrometer. They're soaking wet because I dried a bunch of really wet stuff, and it gets really humid in my garage in the summer. So they have, the lid has an O-ring. Okay. So it seals up really good. It's got a little rubber gasket too for where the filament comes out. So you can seal that up as well. And then you have rollers in the bottom. You can also put a roller in the middle. So if you have a smaller spool that won't ride on the bottom rollers, you can just suspend it by this and just kind of drop it in. And so smaller spools work too. And then on the bottom, you have these things. So you open these up, and now you got a hole into the compartment. And then here is your dryer. So you plug this in, the plug's over there somewhere, and you just put it on top, and it circulates air through, and it dries the filament. And then when the filament's dry, you just do that. And there you go. So now this will keep it dry. This dries it, this keeps it dry. So that way you don't need to buy multiples of these. Also, I kind of like the container style of that one more than the Creality one. I have the Creality dryer too, which I think the Creality dryer I think is really nice if you want to print from a dry box or a dryer. So if this is like this, this one normally sits next to Toasty Boy. So because Toasty Boy is my higher temp machine that I use for like the more exotic stuff, this I find works better for like like nylons that are really hygroscopic or like other materials that just suck up moisture constantly and you need to keep them actively dried. This I find I like. The thing I don't like about it is the whole design of it. I think it's stupid because you have it like this on your desk like this, and it's up. You got a printer on this side. To get filament in and out, you have to do this. It's super awkward because you got to, so imagine this is up on your shelf. So imagine it's up on a shelf, you're about this height. You got to put your spool in it and then the filament comes out the front. So it's kind of like, you know, it's awkward because it's plugged in too. So you got it plugged in and you got to like feed the filament up through the tube. It's awkward. You need a lot of room around it. So I wish it opened to the front. Like, yeah, you got this big cool screen and whatnot. No, you just put the screen down here and have it open to the front. Opening to the back, I don't like it. I get why they did it, or I kind of get why they did it, but like, you know, you got your filament, right? Where's the end of it? Oh. Well, that spool went flying. I don't know where the end of it is. But yeah, so you load it and then you got to like feed it up through the front. I don't like it. I'm not a huge fan. So it works. It's just more niche. I prefer just having the whole top come off. Are batteries charged today? For this one, yes. For the lab, they are. Don't need this. Mini Uncle Jesse moment. I mean, my intro has me electrocuting myself. Content. The S4 from Sunlu. Which one was that? Sunlu S4. Also, I missed somebody donate. I missed that. K-Trim, $10. Cheers and appreciate it for the mini split fund. Thank you. Oh, this one. Yeah, Sunlu said they were going to send me one. That was last year. Yeah. Do you think the Polymaker dryer is worth the money? I'm not going to answer that because I don't know what money is worth to you. Simple as that. I've DIY'd dry box solutions. I for the longest time used a used food dehydrator I bought at a Value Village to dry my filament. Both of those options work really good and they're really cheap, but I'm using those right now. So, yeah. Yeah, I hate answering, is it worth the money for a lot of stuff, because I don't know what money is worth to you. I know what money is worth to me. It's just, you know, I've said, you know, oh, it's not worth the money. And then other people are like, well, the money, yeah, it's within reason for me, or vice versa. So I don't answer questions like those. You need to make that decision. It's your money. Did you see the print I posted in Adas in Discord yesterday? Maybe? Which print? Wolf Pup. These are stage 1 prototypes for a prop shot I'm designing for my club's ROV that we're building. Oh, that's cool. Little ROV, like for a little submarine or something. That's cool. 5 polydry boxes versus Pooch rep box. What wins? Well, the rep box is just a box. It doesn't actively dry. Although, I don't know why you couldn't just cut a hole and just onto the side of a rep box or anything, really. You could just slap, hell, you could probably slap this onto a printer. There you go. Here's an active Nevermore. Will this actually work? Will that work? Because it takes, could you? Well, no. Okay, so Nevermore does two things. It filters and it heats the chamber by basically making the chamber into a giant convection oven. Could you? On the side of a printer? Maybe. The rep box doesn't seal well either. Correct. The rep box, you can put seals on it and it will help, but it's not like, it's not quite screen door on a submarine level, but it's not quite dry box level. Would you buy it for the price asked by Polymaker then? Maybe. It depends. I already have solutions. That's the thing. If you didn't have a solution, then maybe. But I already have solutions, so I can't answer that question truthfully because I already have multiple solutions on hand already. And now we're getting into hypotheticals. You know, if we were getting into hypotheticals, I would have bought Bitcoin 10 years ago and would have bought, you know, GameStop stock last week. But like, you know what I mean? Like it's hypotheticals. You can't dwell on hypotheticals. Also, it's shorts weather. Okay, so what are we doing today? We're pulling out the VZBOT because why not? The VZBOT, we built that thing. When did we build it? We built it last year. Was it last year we built it? Or we finished it last year? I can't remember when we finished it. But it's been going pretty good. I've done a bunch of prints on it. I've liked it. The thing is, there are two things I didn't like about the build. The electronics and the fact that it's got no probe. It's got a Goliath hot end. It's got a very rigid frame. I haven't actually had any issues with bed leveling. I manually leveled the bed once. I haven't had to touch it since. It's been fine. But it's got no bed probe. And it's got no, the electronics were kind of, let's be honest, a mess in the back. Because it has an octopus and then 4 separate high volt drivers. So instead of doing that, oh, here it is. We are going to rip out all the electronics in it and replace it with this. What is this? It's a Kraken. For makers, by makers. Behold, unleash the Kraken. That should be rotating. Why is that only doing the one? You should be rotating. Giveaways. Oh wait, no, it should be rotating. If that pops up again, let me know. Edit. Promo box. Settings. Yeah, no, there's 3 assets in there. It should be going through them all. Okay, well, oh, it's because I restarted, that's why. And then we do have a beacon. So the plan is basically, we're gonna rip out the electronics and put this in, okay? Shouldn't be too hard, because it'd just be reassigning pins. Same configuration, just reassign the pins. So there's that. We wanna put a beacon in it, and then also potentially a tube, because I've already had the hot end fail once on me. I had the hot end failed. The whatchamacallit, the temperature probe in it fell apart, which I guess is a kind of a known issue with them. With the at least the Mellow branded Goliaths have that issue. So we gotta get rid of that. There may be some crimping involved. Well, there's always crimping involved. With the Kraken, how are you going to run with different voltages? I will show you. I will show you. Ready? Ready? One second here. I'm going to feed 48 volts into here. That's how. The Kraken could do 48 volts on the motors. Yeah, the Kraken could do 48 volts on the motors. What was that? So you don't need big external ones that need active cooling. I could just do, well, this needs active cooling too, but it's one complete unit. You'll see when I pull out the VZBOT what is in the back and why we're getting rid of all that. Nice looking board. It is a very nice looking board. It is also absolute overkill for pretty much most printers. I already have one in a tall boy, which is just a normal V2.4 with an oddball size frame. It's massively overkill for that. And then the other one I'm putting in this. The VZBOT makes sense. Also, the Rat Rig, the VCore 4, because it has those extra motors for XY or for Y and then also IDEX. A Kraken would make a lot of sense in a VCore 4, a VZBOT, anything all-wheel drive or IDEX. A Kraken kind of makes sense because you have 4 high volt 5160 drivers, okay? Or are they 5160s or I can't remember which ones they are. Let me pull it up. Big Tree Tech BTT Kraken. Let me pull them up here. Can't remember if they're 5160s or like the 5140s. No, or 2160s. That's what it is. They're 2160s. 2160s are basically 5160s without some of the, it's like motion planning stuff or whatever. Basically the stuff in a 5160 that you don't need for 3D printing is removed and then you have a 2160. So basically that's that. So 5160 has more than a 2160, but the stuff it has you don't use in a 3D printer. So we don't really need them. Simple as that. Let me get my fan going. It is getting a little toasty in here already. Go. That work? Hopefully works. There we go. How do I like Leviathan? I really like Leviathan. Leviathan, I think, is very good for everything that doesn't need a Kraken. The Leviathan is a very good board. I like the form factor of it. It's a nice compact package. I've put 2 installed in printers already, although only one's up and running yet. We still got the V2 down here. Because the prints that came off, I don't know how good those prints are. We'll take a look. But yeah, Leviathan is very good for like a Trident, a normal V2, a Legacy, stuff like that. Trident's good for that kind of stuff. Just installed a 2.4, created a fan mount, Pi mount to sit on top of the Kraken. Nice. The integrated spot for a Pi. That's also a really nice thing. It's a nice compact package. Okay, so now I got to get this out of here. Okay, so, oh man, this is gonna be annoying. If I like hurt myself here, you guys, somebody call. Okay, why aren't you? Oh God. Shoot. Okay, 1 second. Oh, this is gonna be a nightmare. 1 second. There we go. Okay. I can get it out of here. Don't worry. I can get it out of here. It's just very awkward to get it out of that corner. So I have to do that. And then I need to get back here. Remember when I had room in the garage? Remember when I had room out here, guys? That was a fun time period. All of like 2 weeks. Okay, and then you get unplugged. Okay. Whew. Hope I'm having a good day. I am having a good day. I woke up, I cut my grass. I brought the little guy to school, I cut my grass. Also, the original plan today was to do an FL Sun S1 unboxing. That won't be happening for a bit, unfortunately. They have an embargo date. When they sent it to me, I'm like, hey, send me the printer, I'll do an unboxing. And they're like, cool. And then I got it, and they're like, I'm like, hey, can I do the unboxing now? And they're like, hey, hold out. I'm like, shit. So I might not be doing a live stream unboxing. I might actually end up doing a video on it. And video to release on an embargo date. Because that was my original plan. I forgot how big this thing was. Also, I forgot how much I hate the screen on it. Okay, that's that. How does the all-wheel drive of a VZBOT compare to a normal system like a Trident when it comes to speed? Technically, you can go faster with all-wheel drive. What all-wheel drive is on a Core XY system. Okay, let's do some arts and crafts. Arts and crafts, arts and crafts. Okay. So, I need a marker. Here is a piece of cardboard. Okay, so on a normal Core XY motion system, you have a U, and then you got your gantry, okay? So traditionally, on an old style Core XY, you would have your motors up here, okay? Now with Voron's, I don't know if Voron was the first one to do it, but we've kind of moved towards the way Voron has done it. You have your motors back here, And then you have your belt path, right? So your belts go up and down into the gantry, they go up and down to the gantry, and then they come across here and they cross both. So you have that. So these are idlers. Now, if you go back and look at like old Core XYs, like Hypercubes, your motors weren't back here. They were up front here, which was kind of annoying. What all-wheel drive does is you, instead of having idlers here, you have now motors here, okay? That's what you're doing. So these two motors work in sync and these two motors work in sync, okay? And the advantage you have is you have less belt runs, you have shorter belt runs between the drives. So you have a little bit less springiness going on. You have more consistent driving force. Because remember, when you have a belt, when you push or pull the belt, right? When the gear pushes or pulls the belt, the longer the belt run is, the more sloppiness you get in the system, right? Because it's like you're pushing rope. Think about it. Like, you know, let me get a cable here. Or find something I can use as an analog. This will work. Good enough. Okay, so you got this. When you push here, you know, you have a little bit more sloppiness. But if you push here and here, well, in the middle here, it's better, right? Like, see how supported it is in the middle because you're pushing in more locations. So the more motors you have in your belt path, the less, what's the term? Not unsupported, but the less chance of springiness and tolerance stacking and whatnot to build up and give you sloppy prints. Now at normal print speeds, and I don't even know what normal print speed, what is high speed printing anyways? There is no set metric. The faster you print, the more that bouncing comes into play. The more that sloppiness comes into play, the faster you go. So you can kind of get around that by adding more motors to your motion system. There you go. There. See, new ones pop up. That one I put together in 2 minutes. I need to get a better artwork. If somebody wants to make, by the way, the little pop-ups here, if you want to put something, you want to have something up there, let me know. Submit something. I've already got some community ones in the bag for that. Slack, torque, yeah. So here's the thing. The bigger the motion system is, the more you benefit from it, and the faster you're pushing the printer, the more you benefit from it. So on something like a 250 V2, that you're running on like stock speeds, you're not gonna see much of a difference, if any at all. But on a big honkin', you know, VZBOT330 here, or something like a 500 V-Core, you're probably gonna see a little bit more of an impact. By the way, I am totally not dragging this out because I don't wanna pick this up because it's heavy as shit. And I don't wanna blow my back out again. I'm totally not stalling, guys. For real, no capping. Okay. I hate the screen on this. Honestly, the one design decision I hate about this, or I do not like the most, is the screen. The screen on this is super annoying. I'll show you why. We're going on an adventure. So depending on how you have this machine set up, you got your little feetsies here. Focus, focus, focus. Okay, you got your little feetsies here. I've got little 3D printed little rubber gummy feet underneath. You can actually rigid mount this down. That's why these holes are here, so you can mount it to like your bench if you really want to. The problem is the screen sits lower than the printer. Okay, so if you're moving this printer around, when you pick this up, the screen droops down, and then you put it down and you crunch the screen. Every time I've moved this, I've crunched this screen. I don't even know if it works anymore. I really wish the screen was like up here or something. I'm gonna take this off. This is coming off. I don't even use it. It's coming off. But yeah, that is like the one design decision about this that has annoyed me the most. I have crunched that screen more times than I can count. It's a liability. A lot of stuff I like though, like this. Look. There you go. Just come on. Nice and easy. VHB the door? What do you mean VHB the door? There you go. There's your electronics protection. You could tell I was making a mess in here. You can go right there. So, design decision. It is what it is. You can live on here for now. Okay, mobile. Actually, I need somewhere to put you. You can live right here. Work. Focus. There we go. That works. So now you can see my mess. Okay, so here's my camera. You can tell I just kind of reached behind the printer and just shoved a camera in. If it works, it works. So here's the electronics. So you have on this is a Super 8 Pro. I thought this had an octopus in it. I completely forgot it didn't have an octopus. It has this. But that's not a big issue. So we've got a Fly Pro and we've got these extra drivers down here. So we are replacing this entire assembly right here with all this extra wires and everything with just this. We're just gonna have this right here and everything is like, all this is gonna go bye-bye. A lot of this is gonna go bye-bye. Have you checked the Y-axis mechanism of the Rat Rig VCore 4? It has 2 extra steppers just to move the gantry. I know, I did a video on it. I talked to the Rat Rig guys at Smurf. I did a whole video on the Rat Rig. Yeah, oh gee, Wirehead, don't forget to smash the like button. You're gonna have a bad time. Okay, so that is that. The other thing I need to do is figure out how to put a beacon in this, because I don't have the right beacon. Apparently there's like a low profile and a high profile beacon. I have the high profile beacon. So I was kind of hoping that this would just kind of drop in here, but it's not. So I'm gonna have to figure, I don't know, oop, wrong button. Oh wait, actually kind of the right button, but wrong camera angle. I was kind of hoping that I could just kind of, I don't know how we're gonna make the beacon fit. We might not be able to do the beacon unless I can get a other style of beacon. Same with the tube. We'll look at the hot end later. We're not really focusing on the hot end today. Solder the cable wires to the board. Oh, I could do that. I could do that. I could just solder the cable wires directly to the board. So desolder, because what, it's 4 wires. You got, oh, ground 5 volt plus minus, yeah. Oh geez, yeah, I could just solder the wires right on. Okay, so we're gonna do that. We'll just solder the wires right on. Yo-ho, lo-ho. Yeah, good idea. We'll just, yeah, just. If only we had a way of melting some sort of metal that had a low melting point and using that to make an electrical connection between a wire and a pad. If only that was a thing. Is lead-free solder or good solder on the board? It's probably whatever the company used, but whenever I solder, I use 63, what is it? 6337 solder with flux. The good stuff. Delicious. Okay. Have they added the nozzle probe to beacon yet? I don't know if it's part of the code. I really want to try that out. I really want to try that out. Because this has a very solid bed. The bed on this thing is flipping solid because it's all machined. So we're gonna start with everyone's favorite thing to do, rip and tear. Premium grade lead, only the best lead. I mean, remember, everyone in charge of the government in pretty much every country on Earth grew up in houses with lead paint and suffers from lead exposure. Lead exposure leads to higher instances of violence, narcissism, and a bunch of other not great things. And it's the generation that grew up with that shit that's in charge of everything right now. Lead is great. Also huffing leaded gas fumes from just cars. Okay, so all this can come out. We don't need any of this. Don't need any of this. Romans used to drink from lead cups. Yep. So here's the thing, lead pipes are fine in the right conditions because they build up a, not rust, but they build up like a, is it an oxidization layer? They build up a, like a coating over the lead pipe, and it actually kind of seals the lead off. Marcel gifted 10 community memberships. Cheers, and appreciate it. Tina, yeah, I guess that works. But yeah, it builds up like a layer that basically insulates the water from the bad stuff of the lead. But what happened is, like Flint, Michigan, for example, good example. Flint used to get their water from like Lake Michigan, I believe, or I don't know. They used to get their water from like a natural source or something. And that allowed the lead pipes to be protected. Like it allowed the patina to build up. And it protected the lead pipes from the lead from leaching into the water. Well, the city, to save a buck, and I think somebody on the city council like was associated with another water supplying company, they swapped to a different source of their water. That water was treated, and the chemicals in the water that they used to treat the water to purify it also cleaned the pipes. So now you had pure like lead, unprotected lead pipes where the water was in contact with, and that caused all kinds of bad stuff. So yeah. Oh, this is gonna be annoying. Oh yeah, I forgot these are massive. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna rip all of it. Okay, so you go to there. Where is the signal wire? So you're just a signal wire. I think all these are just signal wires. Thermistor. I'm just gonna take this whole thing off. Water also flammable. I don't think it was flammable. That would have been really bad if it was flammable. This printer has external drivers. It does right now. So this is the stock setup for the VZBot. You have your, what is this, a Fly Super 8 Pro controller, but then you have 4 external 5160s. And then these all have their own power coming in. Basically all this right here, we're getting rid of. Because now, instead of having to feed each one of these drivers its own 48 volts independently, along with having each motor connected it independently, and then the driver connects to the controller board with these jumper wires, it's one 48 volt in to the Kraken. I literally just need to run 2 wires into here, and then I just put jumpers to tell which ones run on 48 volts. Simple as that. And then the motors just plug right into the board. So we're taking this mess here and we're just replacing it with this. And it's gonna streamline it a lot. It should be more efficient, use less power. It's gonna be cooler, and it should be a little quieter too, because we won't have to run as many fans. So I'm not looking to get more performance. I'm not looking to get like more performance out of this or anything like that. All I'm really looking for is just a cleaner package, essentially. Plus, it's content, because I'm waiting on a bunch of stuff to come in for like builds and whatnot. You know, like the positron and a V2 build I'm waiting on, and a bunch of other stuff. We're in limbo mode right now with a bunch of builds, unfortunately, and I don't like it. So, but it do be what it is, though. Yeah, like all these. Oh, so we're gonna have to crimp all these wires again, because all these wires are they're just on ferrules too. Why does the title say better brain and you constantly say all 32-bit boards are the same? No need to upgrade. Because clickbait. That's pretty much it. We're not going to get any different functionality out of this. This machine will behave exactly like it did before. It just will have a cleaner package. It'll just be a nicer electronics package on the back. Simple as that. It'll be a little bit more easier to set up, easier to mess with. It's just going to be a cleaner package. Simple as that. And yes, content, that too. And clickbait. Okay, so now, man, I do have to take this. It's gonna be annoying. I don't have a drill, so I can't. Doesn't it faster MCU help print faster? Yes, but no. Let me see here. Clipper. What is it? Step rate? Maybe chart. Okay. Here you go. Here's some benchmarks for microcontrollers with Clipper. Okay. Where is the chart? Where is the chart? Here's the chart. Okay. So this is how many steps per second, I think it is. I think this is steps per second. Each one of these MCUs can go. So be aware, for the longest time, the fastest speed benchy was on a Delta running Clipper with a Gorilla board. Tri-Gorilla board, you know, the Atmega based board right here. That could do 23,000 steps per second or something like that. I think, is it steps per second? So anyways, so this is basically how fast a ramps can go with Clipper, which again, for reference, my Voron 1.0, which has a ramps on it with DRVs, can move as fast, if not faster than a Bamboo. Okay, it can move as fast as a Bamboo prints. Okay, it can't print that fast because it's 12 volts and it doesn't have the power to actually push plastic that fast, but physically it can move that fast. It can move as fast as a Bamboo, and that's running a ramps with Clipper. So if that can do 23,000, this has a STM32H, which I think is around here. So that's like 870,000. So this is an STM32F, which is one of the more common ones you'll see. So if ramps could do 23,000 and can already outrun the hot end of most modern printers, going up to having theoretically 870,000 steps per second, we got all the overhead we'll ever need with current hardware. Now, like even an RP2040 could do 873,000. Now, once you start having all-wheel drive and quad gantry leveling and you have a ton of motors doing all kinds of little stuff constantly, then you start hitting up that speed limit pretty quick. But still, you have, can I let you chat on your other account? I don't know, what is your other account? I don't know what your other account is. DM me or something. So yeah, basically with Clipper, your controller doesn't really matter. With Clipper, your controller really doesn't matter. It's just BTT commercial. Okay. I mean, I'm doing this because I don't want all this wiring crap back here. That's why we're doing this. Also, they sent me it, and it's the Can-A board, and I want to put it in something. So I asked you guys what you wanted me to put it in, and it's this. You've watched me build a V0 6 times on this live stream. We can do a controller swap. And if you, again, you don't, I'm not forcing you to be here. If you don't like it, just remember, this whole channel, for those that don't get the point of my channel, I have to remind people of this. This channel is me just effing around in my garage with a camera on. That is the whole point of me. Like, that's how this whole channel got started. I didn't start this channel to be the most informative 3D printer educator person in the world. It's just like, hey, I'm messing with this stuff anyways and I'm bored. I'm gonna turn the camera on so I have people to talk to. That is the whole point of my channel. If you want the lore of the Canuck Creator YouTube channel, I'm just bored in my garage and I wanted somebody to talk to. So yeah, that's why a lot of streams are just, we're doing a random thing and yapping. Because that's what the streams are. It's just we're working on something and yapping. That's it. That's the lore. Go buy some gamer subs. Code Canuck Creator, 10% off. Where'd I put my screwdriver? Oh, there's. Okay. Got tired of all the talk. Well, when I started streaming, my kid was like young. He didn't even talk yet, so. The ADHD. I've never been diagnosed with ADHD, although considering how, like, I wouldn't say I have, I don't know. I don't think I have it, but. Andrew Rogers, $10 for the yapping fun. Cheers. I was gonna wear my Bucky shirt today, but maybe we'll save that for Friday. Would you ever consider doing a tap changer or a stealth changer build? I will. I've got Tallboy. For those who don't know, Tallboy, it's on camera here. It's a V2 that has an oddball size frame. So it's got a 300 bed on it, but it can do 330 on the XY. And it can do like almost 400 on the Z. It is waiting for stealth changer or tap changer or whatever. I think stealth changer is the better one. I can't remember which one's the better one. As soon as there are kits for it, I will do it. But the problem is I don't remember when I did the Enraged Rabbit Carrot Feeder build series. I did that as they were wrapping up that project, and it was, I'll be honest, not one of my I didn't enjoy that build series. And I didn't like how it turned out. Simply for the fact that I was building it as they were updating the manual, as they were changing stuff. Like I don't like doing build series on things that are still an ongoing project, simply for the fact that a lot of people watch my build series as instructionals, as educational things, and they're following along and everything's out of date like 2 weeks later. I don't like doing that. Like I think Stealth Changer is already going through another revision. So once they get the design more cemented and there's actually kits available from vendors that I can point people to, then I probably will do it. I want to do one. I do want to do one. It's just I'm waiting for the right time to do one. Squirrel! Mr. Minden gifted 5 community memberships. Cheers and appreciate it. So yeah. So yes, I will be doing one at some point in the future. It's just I'm waiting on it to be a more cemented, finalized thing. So one, we have a better build experience. It's more entertaining. I'm less hunting around for information and whatnot. And two, it's easier for those to follow along with it. Texas Tech, $10. Cheers and appreciate it. Thanks for sharing the deep lore. Why is your name Texas Tech if you donate $10 Canadian? Texas is in Canada. I'm waiting on a kit. I am waiting on a kit for the ERCFA V2. Somebody from the ERCFA team reached out and they're like, hey, we're gonna send you a kit. And I'm like, cool. And last thing I got was like, oh, we're finalizing stuff. And I'm like, cool. But Victory Tech's working on a kit too. So companies that make things that people buy, whoever sends it to me first, I build your thing. Simple as that. Texas Tech. Texas Tech. So it's not Texas. I'm a Tex who does some tech. But like tech as in T-E-C-H or Tex as in Texan? Like, I'm confused. Texas isn't in Canada, but Alberta is in Canada. Yeah, and Alberta's like Fisher Price. Like it's great value, Texas. Let's be honest. I've been to Alberta. It's great value, Texas. How do I DM you? On Discord probably would be the easiest way. Okay. Okay, so these are all unplugged. Okay, now I gotta get this out. Are you that? Wish Texas. I want to say Wish Texas. We can get you one of the RC1 kit because the vendors won't wait for us to finish revamping the design, but you'll have better time with the final kit. That's the thing. Like, I'd rather build the final kit. Like Zombie Hedgehog, perfect example. He's built tap changers and stealth changers and all that stuff, and that's his thing. Go check him out. If you want to see somebody build one, go check out Zombie Hedgehog. He's built one. Okay, but he streams on Twitch, so I don't know if the VODs are easily available. That's why I don't do Twitch. Twitch is horrible for not live content. PF Dennis gifted 10 community memberships. Cheers and appreciate it. Thank you. But yeah, that's one of the reasons I don't do Twitch is the VODs are not easily available. Oh shoot. Okay, good. These are the ones that come out. Good. How'd you move? Twitch is horrible. I like Twitch. I try to stream on Twitch when I can. I've been busy. I went from having a ton of free time. I came back from Rocky Mountain. I have like no free time. It's nice out. So I've got a ton of house stuff I got to do. And then the little guy's got all his sports and everything have started. So it's like, I went from having all the time in the world to like no free time really quickly. I don't have Discord. Okay, Beads RC, then just what's your account name and what did you do to get me to mute you or something? I don't know. Or send me an email. Email the business email, nero3dp@gmail.com. Send me an email. From MN, I stream on Twitch and export the VOD over to YouTube as they last longer on YouTube. Well, they last forever on YouTube. That's why I do YouTube, because YouTube, you can go up and watch every VOD I've ever done, whereas Twitch deletes them after like 3 weeks, which sucks if you're a long form creator. The flat earth guy? Oh! I don't know if I'll how many screws hold this on? VODs on Twitch are the worst. I know. It's super annoying too, because at least on YouTube too, if you're watching a live stream and you miss something, you can go back. You can go back and you can catch up. You know, versus Twitch, if you're watching a live stream and you start like and you miss something, right? You were alt tabbed out or you just like joined a stream late and you're like, ah, shoot, I want to see that. You have to wait till the VOD's over, the whole stream's over, and then you can go back. Okay, so this is the controller that we're getting rid of. Yeah, pause and catch up at 2x. That's another thing. You can time travel on YouTube. You can. Get rid of all these. Oh, wait. I'm going through all this trouble to take off the board when I could just do... Where does this go? There we go. Like, why am I going through all the trouble to undo everything off the board when I could just take this off? So we are replacing all of this, okay, with this. So it's not that big of a size difference, right? It is a size difference, but it's not that big. The thing we're eliminating is all of this. This whole thing right here is going bye-bye. Because we don't need this. All I need to do is feed 48 volts into the controller. All of this is going bye-bye. But I do remember, I do have to like connect these, if I remember correctly. Do you still need both power supplies? You do. You still need, you still need 48 volts, or you still need a 24 volt power supply. I don't think the Kraken can run natively off 48 volts. I think you still need a 48 volt power supply, or a 24 volt. I think only the motors are rated for 24 volts or for higher than 24 volts. Everything else, I don't think there's like a step down in it that'll like drop 48 volts down to everything else, which would be kind of nice, but it kind of makes sense because then you would have to have a regulator on it that could drop 48 volts down to 24 volts. That is also power enough to theoretically power a bed and also a hot end. Because you know, on these you can plug, you know, a main or a 24 volt bed into this and 24 volt hot end, and those can draw a pretty decent amount of amperage depending on the bed and the layout and whatnot. So you do want to feed 24 volts in to feed that. And so having hardware on here to drop 24 or 48 volts down to 24 volts for that, it probably doesn't make sense. Okay, so we got that. You know what? Let's get rid of this stupid screen. I'm getting rid of this screen. The screen's going bye-bye. Goodbye, screen. You are annoying. Goodbye, screen. Goodbye, Moon. Kraken and the Super 8 have separate motor rail that can be up to 63. It does high volt. Yeah, it does. But only for the motors. Only for the motors. Let's get this off here. You can't see me. Yeah, so here's the screen. I probably will put this back on, but I'm not putting it back where it goes. Because that, I don't like that spot for it. I need to look at it, especially if they have actionable metric type. No idea what that means. You know what? Step down converter would be pretty big. Yeah. Okay. So let's get all this out of the way. So if I remember correctly, so this goes to there. These are the motors. I probably should have remembered which motor goes where, because that's gonna be annoying. We're gonna have to recrimp all of these. This is our Z motor. That's the Z motor. So I need to connect, if I remember correctly, I need to run a wire from the, which one was it? You got to connect the power supplies. I can't remember exactly how you're supposed to connect the power supplies. Do you connect the voltage in, right? You connect the line in and the voltage in on both of them, right? Because they got to be balanced or something. I remember somebody was like, you guys were like really making sure, I had to make sure I did that last time. So I got to do that, but let's get the Kraken mounted. Let's mount the Kraken. Are we gonna mount it like this, or we're gonna mount it like that? Let's get it on its board first. So I need this, I need 3 of these, and I need just the ground. Output grounds to get tied together. So just ground to ground, I just put one ground line between the 2 grounds, so they share a ground. On the DC side, you connect the negatives. Okay, so I would go 24 volt negative to 48 volt negative. Right? Right? That makes sense. Negative rails need to be connected. Okay, so negative to negative. I can do that. I can do that. Nope, that ain't gonna work. It was fun today. I filmed a video underneath my desk this morning. No, that's wrong. The Kraken might even need to do that. I don't know, that's the problem. Like, it's... Yeah, the Kraken might be able to do it, because the Kraken... I don't know, can the Kraken do it? I don't remember. Yeah, now I got the gamer, like, here's the thing. I got the gamer subs partnership going on. Now I need to get an LTT one. Does LTT do affiliate links? I need to do that next. That's what I gotta do next. There we go. LTT do affiliates. Okay, I gotta figure out how to get on that program then. Charges you like you to like their stuff. I mean, let's be honest, most companies you have to pay to like their stuff. Like if you want something from a company, usually you have to buy it. That's usually how it works with most things. Unless it's a subscription, then you pay to view it, but you don't actually own it. Go. Okay, so anyone else ever burn their finger off putting in a screw? Friction is fun. Friction is fun. When you're screwing in a screw through plastic and you have your finger on the other side, and when the screw finally touches your finger, it's actually built up heat that is actually hot. You're like, ah! Curse you, physics! So either this design is scaled wrong or the bamboo doesn't scale stuff correctly when it prints. Okay, one more screw. Where is the last screw I took out? I know I took one. That'll do. Hey, bearded bucket. Between the Kraken and the octopus board. Well, I thought this was an octopus, it's not. The big difference is we're removing all the extraneous external driver stuff. So the old board was this. So it was a fly, and then it had 4 external stepper drivers. We're replacing it with a Kraken. And these also had a ton of extra wiring required for it, versus this, which has like none. I just feed it 48 volts and move on with my life. So, yeah, that's why. So we're gonna go like this because I want to be able to read it. So. Oh wow, these are. Maybe I shouldn't have printed these on the super stiff settings. And. You got it. Come on. Snapping. Snapping. We go the other way. Go down first. Try not to. Oh, I got one. Oh. Two. The freaking middle one doesn't want to. I mean, that's not going anywhere. Yeah, that's good enough. Good enough. That one cap is a little loose. I don't like that. There we go. Yeah, that ain't going anywhere. Nope, that ain't connected. Shoot, 1 second. Dentox, thank you for coming to a member. Get in your hole. Get in your hole. Come on. Oop. There we go. There we go. Okay. So slide you down. Yep. There we go. Okay. that works a little bit better there. There we go. Okay. Okay. Suppose loose capacitors. Yeah, it depends on the soldering. Like, they're okay. You just gotta be careful with them. Okay, so what's next? So get rid of all this. Save all these wires. All the wires. Look how many Wegos I got now. Lego my Wego. Cheers, Dentox. We're gonna add some active cooling. Yep, we're gonna add active cooling. It'll have cooling, don't worry. We will cool it, but the nice thing is I can do cross cooling now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna have like 2 fans here just blowing across. So instead of having, or actually I'll probably put the fans here blowing this way, or I don't know. We can just do cross cooling now. Don't have to do straight down hoovering on 4 independent drivers with 4 separate fans. But yeah, it does need active cooling. It does need active cooling. We can't not have active cooling. Okay, so let's sort all this out now. So all these wires. So this is the bed. So this will be easy. So we'll might as well start with the bed. It's right here. Is the laser big enough to make panels for a printer? If the panels are smaller than 400 by 400, then yes. Yes, it is. Yeah. Not fair to place the driver easily if one blows for some reason. Correct, Jerkus. The thing is, I have been building and fapping about with 3D printers for over 6 years now, and I've never blown a driver. I understand the whole, I don't like integrated drivers because if you blow one driver, the whole board is done. But the pros way outweigh the cons, and let's be honest, you kind of have to be, you have to work for it to break a driver. You have to like physically unplug a motor while it's in operation kind of thing. Like you have to be, no offense, but you have to be dumb to break a driver most of the time. The most common ways to break a driver are you goofed. So the pros of it being a much more compact package, it being a much more efficient package, and it having much better cooling because you can now heat sink your driver to the giant fat layer of copper in the entire PCB. The pros way outweigh the cons, in my opinion. The pros way outweigh the cons, in my opinion. Okay, so let's do the bed first. So luckily the bed's right here. Hopefully these fit. Do these fit? They do. Okay, so what do we got? We got negative and positive. So positive, just like that. There we go. First things first, get the bed in. Now remember, this is a solid state relay. Since this is a solid state relay, you only need a signal voltage between like 5 and 24 volts for this thing to go do its thing. So why am I bothering to use the bed heater? This got a big chunky MOSFET right here. This is meant to heat like a full-size bed. So why am I using the bed output to control a solid state relay, which just, you can do it with a fan output. Why? Because it's the bed. Bed go to bed. Human brain dumb. Caveman brain. Ugga dugga. Bed, bed. Keep it simple. That's why. Okay. So that's that. So now, that goes to that. That goes to that. So this is main. So now I need a line. There's this one. And this one. So this is the 24 volt power supply. Right? Yep. Where do you go? Okay, you're going there. So 24 volts, so I can get power and bed power. So we need 2 of these. Okay. Bed is bed. Exactly. Keep it simple, because once you get everything all wired up and there's wires everywhere and you have to do some troubleshooting, when you unplug what you think is the bed and you accidentally unplugged a fan because they're right next to each other and they connect to the exact same port and the exact same wires, and then something goes wrong later because you did the wrong thing, it's a lot easier to fuck up if you know, bed is bed. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. Okay. So now I'm gonna have to get some. Uh-oh. Open. There we go. Where did I put? Oh, here comes the part where I go, oh shoot. Remember how I bought all those spade connectors? Remember how I spot all those spade connectors? I mean, I've got a ton of spade connectors here, but they're pre-attached. And because they all went into ferrules, they're not connected. Okay, where did I shoot? Do I have more? I don't think I have. Oh, come on. I know you're in here. I know you're in here. Where are you? Oh. Okay, we'll make it work for now, and then I'll fix it later, I think. Make it work for now, and then we'll fix it later. And by make it work for now, I mean, I'm going to steal Prusa wiring. Because I have it. Why not? It's good enough for a Prusa, it's good for this, right? 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 It's good enough for a Prusa, it's good for this, right? Right? Right. Okay. So, which one of these is longer? This one's longer. Okay. Mine, lots of stuff in organization. We are going to do an organization stream at one point. I'm going to go and print off a ton of whatchamacallit stuff. What's the thing? Gridfinity. I'm going to print off a bunch of that. We are going to do a room organization stream at some point. It's just right now, it's just, I got so many things going on, like ongoing projects. It's just like, everything's a mess. I know it's a mess. One day, well, it won't be, but not this day. Does it need a choke or a diode for the bed circuit so they don't flutter? Nope. Never done one before. Oh, I already do have ground to ground. Yeah, the power supplies are already linked with a negative, so we're good there. Okay. So you go in there. Yeah, the power supplies are already linked, so I'm gonna redo that. Chet just posted a video on great parametric organizer bin organizing. Cool. I might not print it. I might end up lasering stuff. But I've got, here's the thing. Yes, I can print organizers, but let's be honest, that's extremely wasteful and slow. I got lasers. I can laser cut stuff really easily now. So we might end up lasering it. We'll see. We'll see. Didn't find a way to post your config files? No. Also, the problem with my config files, a lot of them are just like not, they're just custom. Like they're just stuff I made that work on my machine, and they might not work on all machines. So I kind of feel not great sharing them. Let's get rid of you. You need to go bye-bye. 3D printers are CNCs too. Yeah, they are, but let's be honest. Yes, a 3D printer is a CNC. Yes, a laser is a CNC. Any motion system that's controlled by a computer is a CNC. But in common talking, in common tongue, when people refer to a CNC, they're most likely meaning a subtractive manufacturing machine. So, what's my opinion on getting X1C or P1P at this time? Do you think something better is around the corner from Bamboo? No. I think, correction, how do I reword this? Yes, Bamboo is coming out with a new thing. People have been wanting to come out with a bigger thing, but they're extremely hush about what it is, so nobody knows what it is. Anyone saying it's an IDEX or a tool changer is just assuming. Nobody knows what they're coming out with. Here's the thing. If you buy a P1P now, or well, don't buy a P1P. If you buy a P1S now or an X1C now, it'll still be as good as, today as it will be a year from now, okay? It's just, will the new thing be a better value or be that much more capable? I don't know. I've got a feeling it's not gonna be a tool changer or IDEX. I got a feeling, honestly, my gut instinct tells me, because Bamboo is a massive for-profit company, it's just gonna be a bigger X1. That's all I'm thinking. The only thing I think, in my opinion, that the next printer from Bamboo will just be a bigger X1. That's it. I don't think it's gonna be a tool changer. I don't think it's gonna be IDEX. They just put a bunch of time into making their filament swapping more efficient. They've got the whole AMS system with 2 different ones that are completely incompatible with the different machines, which I think is pants on head, R word we're not supposed to say anymore, apparently. I don't think they're gonna abandon that ecosystem to go to tool changing. Tool changing is way too much of a trouble. Way too much of a trouble. Go on the Bamboo subreddit, and the majority of the questions that people ask are like, what is this? How do I stop it? And it's a print warping. If that is your target demographic, giving them tool changers is just gonna overload your already overloaded customer support lines. It's just gonna be a bigger X1. That's all it's gonna be. It's gonna be a bigger X1, maybe a chamber heater because the machines leak air like a sieve and they can't hold a high temperature. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much what it's gonna be. It's gonna be a bigger X1. That's all I believe it'll be. Performance-wise, it'll just be an X1 but bigger. They're probably gonna have to rechange a bunch of their design because carbon fiber rods over that sort of a distance is probably gonna have drooping issues, especially with their bed. They use the bed sensors in the bed pushing on the nozzle to do their Z probing and Z offset and Z homing and all that. And as you make a longer span, you're gonna get different results depending on where the tool head is in the bed because there's more flex involved. It's one of the reasons Vorons are spec'd within the certain sizes they are because of stuff like that. So yeah, are they coming out with a new printer? Yeah, but is it gonna be like, I don't think it's gonna be like the revolution in home 3D printing that the X1 was when it came out. I think it's just gonna be a bigger X1. That's all I think it's gonna be. Because free money doesn't exist anymore. And they have to make something that actually is profitable from the get-go nowadays. But that's just me. Okay, motor power, so that's this. And that. Let's jump on it. So here's the fun thing, ready? So before, remember how we had all that massive wires here? Now we just have this. We just have this wire, which feeds 48 volts to here, which feeds 48 volts to all our motors. So instead of that massive bulk trunk of wires we had here, we just have this guy. This is it. That's the only 48 volt wire we have in the machine. Just that. That's it. Okay. Oh, these are those ones. I wish I knew. I'm gonna have to go shopping today. Shoot. Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna do the thing I shouldn't do, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna wire it up without crimps for now, and then I will crimp it afterwards. I promise you, we will have crimps on this, but I'm gonna just wire it up with these, and then when When I go buy crimps tonight, I'll just swap them out. Out of curiosity, does the board tie the 24 and 40? I don't know if they do. I already have both of these power supplies already have a common negative between them already. So that's already set up, so I'm just gonna leave it. You need to understand that more size equals more price. Exactly. Here's the fun thing, class. Everyone wants a bigger printer. Guess what? Building a big printer is not hard at all. Any company can put out a bigger printer. Guess what you do? You put a bigger bed with a bigger frame and longer belts on your existing printer, and it's bigger. It's not hard to make a big printer. Anyone can do it. Making a big printer that's actually good. Now there's the problem. Just ask anyone who owns an Orange Storm Giga how that's going. So anyone can make a big printer. Big printer, not hard. Big printer that good is hard. These wires for and stop. I don't even know what that's for. Oh, that's a bed thermistor. Okay. Got a buddy Joel like that. Oh, Joel has made videos off of how much trouble he's had with his Orange Storm Giga. I could have told anyone who bought one that, hey, you're probably gonna have some fun with that machine in a bit. I'm not saying that machine's a lemon. I'm just saying that machine is probably gonna be a lemon, and you're probably gonna have to fiddle with stuff. Have fun. That's why speed benchies are on small printers. Exactly. There's nothing, here's the thing, there's nothing wrong with a big printer. It's just, you have to build them well. And with the profit margins, and especially the problem is, the big problem is, let's be honest, shipping a massive printer from China. The shipping costs are what get you. It's the shipping costs that make those things not economically viable for a lot of things, fortunately. That's what kind of gets you. Why did I throw that away? I need that. Ah, dang it, it's empty. Like, oh, ferrules. Oh wait, it's empty. I got one ferrule. I'm like, I know I have a bin, but I'm pretty sure I'm out. I mean, what I could do, we'll just do that for now. I think we'll do that for now. I don't like doing that, but I'll crimp it with spades for now. And then I'll just move on with my life. We'll fix it at a later, or you know what? No, because I'm gonna put proper crimps on it later. I'll put proper crimps on it later. Oh, is this it? No, that's not it. Shoot. I have an extra LDO apron. I'm gonna try lasering the LDO apron. That's something I want to try. I want to try putting my name on it somewhere. Okay. Where did I put these wires? Right here. Okay. So for now, I'm doing the thing you're not supposed to. I'm just plugging these directly into the thing, but I'm gonna replace them later. Pellets are way cheaper than filament. That is correct, but pellets also have their own problem of their pellets. Running a printer with pellet is you now have a massive tool head that doesn't react as well to changes in flow, essentially. Yeah, consistency. Yeah, that's the problem with pellets. Pellets are meant to like injection molding, not FDM. Yes, you can FDM with pellets, and people do. Dr. D Flow has a channel where he does stuff like that. But the problem is, like, you're pretty much only going to be able to print big things at thick layer lines. That's kind of the problem you run into. I am going to be putting ferrules on these. It's just for now I don't have any, so I'm going to go out tonight and buy some. Now I need bed power. FDM is a process. FDM is a process. What does FDM stand for? Is it filament deposition manufacturing? I can't remember. Anyways, it's fused. Yeah, fused. It's not filament. It's fused. I'm like, for a second, my brain was going, wait a minute, it's not filament. It's something else. Yeah. So now, oh shoot, I gotta double one of these up. That's gonna suck. Yeah, let's just jumper this. Let's just jumper this. I'm just gonna jumper it. Instead of dealing with that, I'm just gonna jumper it. Because the bed power is only drawing a minuscule amount here. Any thoughts on stealth tap changer? Cool. I'll build one at some point. Neat idea. I think it's a pretty cool thing. Modeling, not manufacturing. Okay. It would be FDM, but not FFF. FFF, I don't like the term FFF. I know FDM is like trademarked, so that's why we all use FFF properly, but I like saying FDM more. FFF is like, I have a stutter. I like how the Rat Rig V Core 4 can use 2 Y motors in it. Yeah, those motors, when it does that configuration, I think that's only really more beneficial on the larger size frames, because you're basically giving the heavier motion, because when you're with Core XY, yes, it's balanced, but your Y movements will always have more issues than your X movement, because when you're moving the X, you're just moving the tool head. When you're moving the Y, you're moving the tool head and the entire gantry. And on a big machine, that gantry can get heavy. So having extra motors just to help move the gantry can help a lot on a bigger machine, like the 400 or the 500. Do I insulate my boron beds? No. What's over here? Okay. What time is it anyways? 12:30, okay. Does printer move yet? It's moving! It's moving! Yes, for those at home who are just turning in, yes, I'm sticking just twisted wires in. I will be getting, I'm out of spade connectors. I'm gonna buy some tonight. I'm gonna run to the Home Depot and buy some. So this is just temporary for now. Just temporary for now. I wish I had taken a picture. Somebody go back to the beginning of the stream and take a screenshot of the wiring for this from the before wiring. Because now this is all the power wiring. This is it. I'm gonna replace this with a longer one so it actually looks better too. But like, this is it. Remember before we had that massive trunk of power wires feeding this? Now this is it. This is it, right there. There's your entire power right there. That is so much cleaner. That is so much cleaner. That's it. That's it right here. There you go. There's your power. Am I solving a problem by two things? One, we're making the electronics pack here much cleaner. That's the first big thing. We're doing a bunch of other things. I want to put a tube on here. I want to put a beacon on here. I'm doing some changes to it. Also, I asked you guys when I got this Kraken what you wanted me to put it in, and a bunch of you said VZBOT, so I'm putting it in the VZBOT because this is the custom Kraken. It's the Can-A one that they sent to a bunch of creators. So it's like, I've got it. What do you want me to put in? Do you want me to put in this? Okay, we're putting in this. That's what we're doing, essentially. I didn't really have any major issues with the flyboard. It's just the package I didn't like. It was a massive package to work with. So, What's your opinion on this carbon fiber OG glass? Wait, opinion on CFOG glass filled fusion? Well, those are two different filaments. One's glass filled, one's carbon fiber filled. Carbon fiber filled stuff is stupid rigid. I love glass filled. Glass filled is abrasive as all hell though. If you thought carbon fiber was bad, glass filled is even worse. Why not use a DIN mounted Meanwell PSU? Because the kit came with these and I already have them. And they do the exact same thing as a DIN mounted one. And I already have them. Also, if I didn't have the DIN ones, how would I mount the panel? Because the panel, to protect the electronics, goes like this between the power supplies. So if I had a DIN mounted one, I wouldn't be able to do that. Ruin the whole design. Also, the kit came with them, so. Okay, so that's that. So now I gotta start plugging in stuff. So big dummy moment, I should have remembered which motor goes where. Because we've got our XY motors here that I'm gonna have to crimp a bunch of connectors on. And they're gonna have to go to places, and I don't remember which one goes where. So that's gonna be a future me problem. And the problem with future me, I am now future me. So I should have remembered which one went where. Now here's the good thing, it's Clipper, so I can just copy and paste and move stuff around. It's not a big deal, but that's still something I'm gonna do. So let's start crimping and stripping. So this guy, I'm just gonna keep it simple and just whatever they go to is whatever they go to. Okay, so where's this wire? This comes out the bottom. These come out the bottoms, okay. Ooh. This might not reach. This might not reach. We might have a problem here. That one will reach. I'm gonna have to be very... Ooh. We might have a problem here. I got any slack under here? Which one are you? Which one are you? Oh, you don't have a lot of slack. You're all ready. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Can we make this work? If you go through here, okay, go through there. Go through the back. Through the back. Come on, you can do it. Come up. Okay, and it's like right there. It's like right there. It'll work. It'll work. We'll make it work. It'll work. It'll work, damn it. I can make it work. I can always... Let's see, can I feed more down? Shit, no, I can't. I can make it work. I can make it work. I'll make it work. I'll make it work. We can make this work. Believe. You just need to believe. Heart of the cards. Heart of the cards. Or something. I don't know. But we'll make it work. We'll make it work. Don't let your memes be memes. Let your memes be dreams. Make it work. We'll make it work. So we'll start with that one, because that's the sketchiest one. Okay, so let's get rid of all these wires. Don't need any of this. Okay. Steve! Hi, Steve! Oh, and by the way, Sunday's work. Scoot the DIN down. The problem is the DIN is VHB'd on, I think. I could scoot the DIN rail down. I could. I'd rather not, but I could. Are those Meanwell power supplies? They are. They are. So now it's going to get really sketchy because I got to cut these. Which was the order these were in too? I really should have taken a picture of this. I can't remember the order of the wire. Oh wait, no, I'm good because I got this. This tells me the order of the wires. There we go. Because they're all the same motors. Okay. There we go. Am I doing a build together? Yeah. So now we're doing everyone's favorite fun thing to do, crimping and stripping. These. Is the positron kit finally ready? No clue, but when it shows up, we will be ready. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but one day. Big chunky. Where's the stripping? We already stripped it. These are some. Why do they give? Like, I'm not complaining, but you've got 4 motors on here that are 5160 or 2160s. So that means at most 8. You only need to crimp 8 of these wires. So even if you fail every time and you use twice as many, you only need 16. I mean, I'm not complaining that they give extra, but this is a lot of extra. 1, ready? 1, 2, or wait, no, 8, 16. No, you need 16, so 32, yeah. Because 4, 8, 16. So if you don't screw up any of the crimps, you only need this much out of this much. So this is how much you need, and this is how much they give you. I can't even get it all in frame. There you go. You really have to suck at crimping to use up. Good job, Big Tree Tech. Keep it as spares. The thing is, I've already built one of these, or I've already used a Kraken, so I already have that much spare somewhere. Came with very... Oh, actually, sorry. I screwed up. Those are the small ones. This is the big one. How many big ones did they give me? How many big ones? I had them mixed up. This is the big one. Okay, how many big ones did I get? Hear you. Where'd you go? Oh no! This way. There you are. Oh, that was cool. Coast Guard helicopter. Now, I live under a flight path, or near a flight path for a U.S. National Guard base on the other side of the lake. So anytime there's like, I hear loud flying noises, I'm like, it's honestly either a Coast Guard helicopter, a A-10 Warthog, or like a C-17. So every time I hear one of those, it's like, ooh, run outside and see what it is. And this time it was a helicopter. So, yeah, Selfridge? Yeah, Selfridge, Air National Guard Base. So it's on the other side of the lake for me. So, yeah, every now and then we get cool stuff fly us overhead. Oh God, this is gonna be tight. You hear the birds too late. Well, let's be honest. I mean, well, actually, that's true. That's very true. They do have A-10 Warthogs, and Canada is a friendly country to the US. So yes, if it is an A-10 flying at me, I would be worried. Been using your playlist as a guide to manage to get things homing with the BL Touch only after a couple of excellent. Cheers! Those Clipper tutorials are, I'll be extremely honest, extremely outdated. They're very old tutorials. How am I crimping it? With a PA09. I don't really have a good camera angle for it, but it's you crimp the small one that crimps onto the wire, and then you crimp the big one that crimps onto the sleeving. And you give it a little tug to make sure it's good. The A10 is the only plane returning to base with half its wing blown off. Let's be honest, in modern combat, the A10 is a dinosaur and shouldn't be flying at all. For those that actually know, the A10 platform is a relic. It is a, don't get me wrong. Yes, a flying 30mm Gatling cannon is bloody cool. I've seen one go burnt in real life. It made things feel things that I can't say on this platform. But it's also designed for a type of warfare that hasn't existed since the 60s. The A10 is a complete relic of the past, and there is much better platforms out there for the role that it claims to fulfill. Yeah, an F-15 can fly without wings. It has enough thrust to fly without wings. It doesn't even need the wings. Not easy to make a modern frame. Yeah, it is. It's called any plane that can drop a guided bomb. It's designed for tanks. And the thing is, it can't even take out tanks with its main gun most of the time. Look up the actual reports. Look up the actual reports of it like managed to knock out a few patents that were easily repaired. Dang it. Why is this not crimping right? Okay, maybe they did send enough of these extra ones because I've already broken like 2 of them. But yeah, A-10s are way too susceptible to anti-aircraft. Look how many Frogfoots have been shot down in Ukraine. Same type of plane. Yeah, you got a titanium bathtub. It ain't gonna do shit if the wings are gone and the engines are blown out. And yes, it's got a 30mm gun that can kind of hit what it aims at, but it has to get really close to hit what it aims at. So a man pad will take it out. Look up the Gulf War stats. What is it? B1s and aardvarks ended up doing better at close air support and tank killing than A-10s. Aardvarks. Shoot, I hate when you crimp something and it gets stuck in the crimper. Why you differentiate foreign design philosophy from RepRap? What do you mean I differentiate? Shoot. Dang it. What is RepRap? What is foreign design? It's yeah. Like I like these big connectors, but the PA09 doesn't really do too good with these big ones. But what do you mean RepRap? Like RepRap, RepRap is dead, long live RepRap. The goal of RepRap is self-replicating. The problem is, like, how do I word this? I've had a talk with this with a few people who are like old frogs in the whole RepRap community. The thing is, most printers aren't self-replicating anymore. A lot of designs have moved away from, you know, trying to be fully self-replicating, because the original goal of RepRap was a machine that can fully replace itself, right? And the joke was you had to use pills, or what was it? Was it the term pills? Where you would, the machine would was supposed to be able to make an exact copy of itself. That was the whole point of RepRap, self-replication. And now we've completely kind of dropped that requirement from RepRap, because look at this machine. There's like a handful of printed parts on it. Everything else is machined and off the shelf. Vitamins, that's what it was, vitamins. Nobody uses that term anymore because that whole mentality of DIY printer design has changed. The goal of Voron is using commercial off-the-shelf stuff. Just buying stuff that already exists and using that to build your printer, and then supplementing that with 3D printed parts. Versus the old way, which was try and make the printer as 3D printed as possible, and then supplementing what you can't 3D print with off-the-shelf parts. And it's saying it is sourceable. Like it's just it's potato tomato. It's just wording. Like the old thinking of RepRap, where the machine was like the end goal of the design of the machine was to be entirely self-replicating, has kind of died out in terms of 3D printing design. Okay, in terms of like hobby level DIY 3D printing design, we're all using, you know, off-the-shelf electronics. We're not soldering our own ramps anymore. We're not, you know, making custom lead screws out of, you know, like we're buying just off-the-shelf stuff, custom frames, laser cut frames. No, everyone just uses aluminum extrusions. So it's just the kind of the original design goal of RepRap has kind of changed and isn't what it used to be. So using the term RepRap, which is like what is the actual definition of RepRap? Definition of RepRap. Product developed low-cost region that can print most of their own components. That is the original goal of RepRap. Replicating rapid prototyper is a product developed low-cost printer that can print most of its own components. Let's be honest, low cost has kind of gone out the door. Thank you, COVID and global economy changing. No more free shipping off AliExpress. So that has changed. And self-replicating, yes, Voron's, you know, the whole printed forward program is a massive part of Voron. But the goal of Voron isn't to have a printer that, you know, can print all its own parts to duplicate itself. It can print the parts it needs to duplicate itself, but you're still augmenting that with mostly off-the-shelf parts. You're not, the goal isn't to try and make the machine as printed as possible. So it's the old definition of RepRap isn't what RepRap or what DIY 3D printing has become. And then you have machines like this. There's a couple parts on the tool head that are 3D printed, enclosure parts, a few spacers. Everything else is machined and commercial. So it's kind of like the old idea of RepRap has kind of died out, but its successor, which I don't even know what it is, just DIY printers, is still very strong. And let's be honest, there's been more innovation in the past 5 years in 3D printing from the DIY scene than there has been from the commercial scene. What is the most advanced 3D printers on the market right now that you can buy off the shelf? They openly state they got all their ideas from DIY machines like Voron. Look at Bamboo. Bamboo's statement, hey, we took what DIYers have done and we just made it something you can buy instead of having to build. So, yeah. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with that. A lot of people don't want to build a printer. Especially, like, I know people that are into cosplay and whatnot. They want 3D printers, but they don't want to faff about with them. They just want to print the things they want. They want the printer to make the things they want to make. So. What is the actual crimper you're supposed to use with these large microfits? Because my PA09 is not cutting it for these. I might have to get a new tool. Okay. Also, I am hungry. I should have ate lunch. What time are we going to do a short stream today? We might end up ending the stream a little early today, probably around 1:30. Okay, so we got blue, red, green, black. Blue. Red. Green. Black. There we go. Tight, good, okay. Closed source is a pain in the butt though. It is, don't get me wrong, it is. But a lot of people just don't care. It's like every now and then it comes out like there's some drama on Twitter, good old Twitter, where it's like, oh, a company's breaking open source license, and you know, the usual people make noise about it. I make noise about it, and a bunch of other people make noise about it, but majority of people don't care. PA 20 for 1.6 wire, 1.9 for installation. Okay. Well, I don't think this is going to work. I think this isn't going to work. This might not be long enough. I'm going to go on this side. Really? Really? It's right there. I can't. It doesn't connect. It's right there. I'm gonna have to drop this like half an inch. Where's my VHB at? Is it inside? I think my VHB's. Oh no, Calvin! I forgot. Oh no! The little guy got into my spool of VHB and kind of ruined most of it because he thought it was normal tape. So I have like no VHB. Or I do, but it's inside. I only got a little left. By the way, how are open source licenses reinforced? People yelling. Yeah, sometimes it goes to court, but let's be honest, if you're open source, usually you don't have a massive profit income stream, at least for hardware. So it's just basically yelling. You bitch at the company, and hopefully they get enough blowback that they change their mind. But yeah, that's usually how it works a lot of the time. It's just people bitch. It sucks, but that's like the only thing we have for a lot of time. And also, let's be honest, a lot of time the companies that are breaking open source aren't even on this continent, and they're from countries where good luck enforcing patent laws. So yeah, it is what it is. Literally, I gotta drop this like an inch. Well, that sucks. Okay, let's get the next one. Do the next one. Hardware is going away. Companies can't survive on clone. Yep, I know a lot of people. I really don't like it. Like, I get what they're going on. There are some really, really, really big proponents of open source that harp on companies like Prusa, because, you know, Prusa's open source, but you know, they're a little slow when it comes to release stuff, right? Here's the thing. If you design it yourself and you're not basing your design on existing open source stuff, it's like, hey, I fully designed this on my own and I will open source it. You have no obligation on a timetable. You can release it whenever you want. It's your design. It's you designed it. You're allowed to release what you want whenever you want, okay? It's your design. You could just say at any point, okay, cool, I'm not releasing it. What are you gonna do about it? Nothing. Like, you can complain, oh, you said you would release it, but you have no actual like legal justification, okay? So when you have a big company like Prusa that, you know, has an active paid development team working on software for slicers and whatnot and hardware, and you have hundreds and hundreds of employees. I think Prusa has over 1,000 employees now working multiple different divisions, and you're trying to follow the open source rules and whatnot. And then you have companies like VZBOT that just straight up clone your shit and sell it for half the price on AliExpress. What are you supposed to do? Or you have a company like Bamboo that just takes your slicer and slaps a green coat of paint on it. No, they have done work, don't get me wrong. Or Bamboo Studio has had stuff put into it that is new. But the basis of it is Prusa Slicer with green paint. And let's be honest, Prusa Slicer is based on another open source project. But they've properly credited and everything, so it's all above board. But if you're a company that has hundreds of employees and you're trying to keep, you know, you are now responsible for 1,000 people being able to pay their mortgage and feed their family, and you know, VZBOT over in China just straight up just copy Control C, Control V's and sells your stuff for, you know, a fraction of the price because they don't have to worry about, you know, overhead or worry about safety or, you know, paying, you know, livable well, Chinese wages are much cheaper. It's like, how are you supposed to exist? So what you start doing is you don't release the files for the electronics, and you start, you know, releasing stuff at a later date so you can have that grace period. Like, it is what it is. It is what it is. Like, I like open source. Don't get me wrong. I'm part of the Voron team. Voron is probably the worst company in the world. We give away everything. So many companies. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Jason. Love LDO. Great guys. They're making a killing off Voron. Good for them. Voron's not a for-profit company. But if Voron was a profit company and people on the team required, needed to be able to pay their mortgages, do you think it would be as open? No. Hell no. So, yeah. Imagine a Voron kit from Voron. I have one. I have a Voron kit. Voron kit number 20. There was only 20 of them ever made. And then Max went, F this. This is a stupid idea, and just open sourced everything. So yeah, that's kind of the whole thing is open source is great until it's not. And if you build up a company around open source and all of a sudden everything you're being worked on is just being copied the moment it comes out. And let's be honest, majority of people don't care. Majority of people do not care. If you go, hey, you can buy a car for $10,000 or you can buy a car from $20,000. They're both exactly the same car, but one's, from a company that manufactures here, one's a company that manufactured over there, and they just copy the first company's design. Guess what? A lot of people are going to be driving $10,000 cars. So it is what it is. If Voron wanted to make money, it would probably be through licensing the designs. Voron can never be a for-profit company. I'm not going to go into the details of it, but Voron will never be a profitable company. It can't. There's too many people on the team from too many different places on Earth. How would you even deal with payroll? How would you even deal with payroll? Who gets what share of what profit? Bamboo clone since it's open source. Well, here's the thing. Okay, this is another term. Y'all need to stop calling everything a clone, okay? It's not a clone. I don't care what anyone says. A dragon is not a clone of a mosquito. It's a completely different design that uses the same process and potentially violates a patent, but it is not a clone. A clone is a clone. Dolly the sheep was a clone of the original sheep. Copy paste, okay? If you're taking something and you're changing the entire design and no components share commonality, it's not a clone. A derivative, inspired by, whatever word you want to call it. Yes, a ton of companies are coming out with enclosed Core XY machines right now. They're not bamboo clones. They're very cosmetically similar, but I can't take a part off my Creality K1 and put it on a bamboo. Nothing is compatible. So how is it a clone? And there were commercial Core XYs before Bamboo. Bamboo wasn't the first company to sell a Core XY machine. So. Not to mention the sheer scale manufacturing China equivalent. It's not long term though. It's the same thing that happened, with everyone in China having an iron furnace in their backyard to make metal. I don't think it's scalable on the long term. And even right now, companies are moving their production out of China because it's getting too expensive now. Cheap manufacturing is a temporary thing. It only lasts so long until wages go up and then all of a sudden they go to the next cheapest place, which I think everyone's moving to India now. So it's only viable for so long. Plus it helps when your government cooks the books to make things look better than they are. Everything is an i3. That I will never get. People who call Enders Prusa clones. It's a V-wheel bed flanger. Is the Makino at the shop I work at also a bamboo clone or a Prusa clone? Because it has the gantry moves in the X and the bed moves in the Y. Is that a Prusa clone? Polymaker is a clone of the Darwin. India and Vietnam. I mean, I got my shoes were made in Vietnam. Is a clone. Well, here's the thing. If it's open source and you credit your sources, it's not a clone. It's a continuation of the design. The i3, yes, is based on the Darwin, I think. There was the i3 was based on the i2, which is based on the Prusa Mendel, which is based on the Mendel. And those are all open source, and they all properly credited the previous one. So no, they're not clones. I don't know why people call them clones. They're not clones. They follow the rules of open source. I mean, the Trident's based on a V2, or the V2's based on, I don't know, like, I don't know. i3 sort of became a catch-all for a kinematic model. Yeah. And now they don't even use i3. It's just the Prusa Mark IV. They don't even call it the i3 anymore. Clone became a catch-all like Doom clone. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Yeah, like a clone is like, you know how you can buy like knockoff iPhones or knockoff AirPods? Those are clones. When you're trying to imitate the original thing in functionality and appearance, that is a clone. When you're just trying to, oh, I have an enclosed Core XY as well. That's not a Bamboo clone, that's just an enclosed Core XY. Although it is hilarious now that everyone, like, how quickly everyone rushed to put out enclosed Core XYs. It's like I see a company teasing something on Twitter, and it's like a blurry picture, and it's like, oh, we have a new printer coming. I'm like, oh my God, it's an enclosed Core XY. Who would have thought? Yes, the Triangle Lab Spider was a Mosquito clone. That was a clone. The Dragon was not a clone. The Dragon was a completely original design. It just used the same style of unsupported heat break or supported heat break that the Mosquito does. So that's like calling, my Subaru Crosstrek a Toyota clone because they both have 4 wheels and an engine. I'd rather have 1 million Core XY machines than 1 billion bed slingers. Here's the funny thing. Are you ready? There's nothing wrong with a bed slinger. Now, there's a lot of shitty bed slingers out there, but a motion system that has the bed move in the Y or the X, depending on how you orientate your printer, isn't inherently a bad thing. You can make a good bed slinger. There's nothing wrong with that. Bed slingers has a ton of advantages. They're cheaper to manufacture. They're easier to ship. They're a smaller package. They're easier to assemble. They're easier to work on. Certain add-ons to them work better. There is nothing wrong with an actual bed slinger motion system where the bed moves in the Y. There's nothing wrong with that. The thing is, a lot of bed slingers are just cheap V wheels that just kind of suck. So you can build a good bed slinger. Switchwire is a pretty good bed slinger. There's plenty of good. Look at what's the Armchair Heavy Industries one? You can make a good bed slinger. Nothing's stopping you from making a good bed slinger. Anyone can make a good bed slinger. It's just the problem is they're cheap, so a lot of people make cheap bed slingers that are shit or have a lot of issues. So. Okay, so what do we got here? We got blue, red, green, black. Right? Blue, red, green, black. Blue, red, green. Hearing that helicopter again. Hopefully nobody fell in the water. Usually it's not a good sign when you hear the Coast Guard helicopter move 3 times and usually it's not a good sign. The Stinger, that's what it is, the Stinger. That is a bed slinger that flippin' moves. Where'd you go? Yeah, it's going back. So that means it flew out to Lake Erie and came back. Or is that another one going? No, that's another one going out there. Huh. That's not good. Usually it's not a good sign when you see 2 Coast Guard helicopters flying in the same direction. Usually it's not a good sign. Usually. Prusa Mark 2.5 has been printing for 14 hours straight. Yeah, that's the thing. You can have like the Mark IV. What's wrong with the Mark IV? It's slow. Okay, If we take speed out of the equation, what's wrong with it? Okay, price. Okay, take price out of the equation. What's wrong with it? Nothing. They're fine. Like, flight cert training? Maybe. So that's that one. So this one is going to go right here. Viking invasion. I don't think the Vikings are around anymore. Edmund Fitzgerald sunk. I hate to break it to you, but that thing sunk quite a while ago. There's a song about it. Still has gotten firmware updates. Yeah, it was funny. Was it Bamboo put out their, like, they stealth changed their TOS saying, oh, we're only going to support our printers for 3 years from release. And then I posted something on Twitter that from somebody post, like I basically just copied a post that somebody posted on their subreddit and I blasted it on Twitter. And the next morning, oh no, 7 years. Because, hey, guess what? It's funny. Bamboo finally found out about EU laws and regulations. Good for the EU for keeping companies in check. You know, yeah, whatever. You get some certain people that are like, you know, too much regulation. But you know what? A lot of the whole, like, companies basically hoovering up all your data and screwing you out of, like, warranties and stuff. Hooray for the EU for keeping companies in check against that shit. So what happens after 3 years? You get no more software. Here's the thing. Bamboo machines are internet connected devices. Would you use a computer with Windows XP connected to the internet without security updates? No. No. Any device that is connected to the internet, the moment you don't have security updates anymore, in my opinion, you should never connect that thing to the internet again. Because all it takes is somebody to find an exploit, and guess what? Now all machines are going to be vulnerable to that exploit forever. So, hey, Bamboo stops updating the X1. A month later, Bob finds a security exploit that allows him to connect to any Bamboo on the internet and tell it to print stuff, or tells the heater to heat up to 1,000 degrees, because who knows what they can do if they get access to the machine with an unsecured connection. And now all machines forever are susceptible to that issue. Well, hey, you can just take your machine offline. Well, what if you bought the machine because of the online connectivity? You use the phone app to check your print file. Like, you bought a machine because of its capabilities, and now all of a sudden you can't use those capabilities. I don't know about you, I would not be happy. Yeah, 0-day exploits, yeah. It's like any time there an operating system or a version of Windows stops getting support, you got to take that thing offline. Don't connect it to the internet. They have exploits. Pruso is listed on this, but don't worry about it. Anyone can get issues. Yeah, anyone can get issues. It's how you take care of it. Here's the thing: Bruce has received security or received updates for like a freaking decade. So it's okay. Nothing is perfect. Windows has security updates all the time. People find holes in Windows and Mac and Linux all the time, but they get fixed. The moment they don't get fixed anymore, then you have the problem. Like, I think I don't even remember how many times. It's at least 3 or 4 where I have seen posts from people going, hey, on either Twitter or the Discord or the Bamboo subreddit, from people in security fields going, hey, I've been trying to contact Bamboo about a security issue and they're not responding. Like, that's usually not a good sign. Cert vulnerability. Oh, there's all kinds of fun stuff. I mean, remember the night where Bamboo's servers took a crap and all their machines started printing because people would try to send a file to it and it wouldn't send? So they just kept hitting send and all of a sudden it buffered up and it tried to print like 20 things at once. That was fun. That's an easy thing to fix. That should never have been there to begin with. Pretty much all modern, services have an ability to not have that happen, but they just didn't have it set up to not happen. I can't use Osmo Mobile now, maybe 2 to 3 years since purchase, unsure of mobile patch or DJI. Yeah, DJI is really annoying. I hate DJI, but I've got a DJI mic right there. I got an Osmo Pocket 3. DJI is the same. Bamboo is all former DJI. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. They make a really good printer, but I really don't like their business practices. And that's okay. And the print. Yeah, my Bamboo hasn't been connected to the internet in months. Software development is hard, and in my experience, most hardware companies don't invest. I remember speaking with somebody reached out to me a while ago that they had gotten into a bunch of Bamboo code before. This was before the X1 Plus thing. This was like way before X1 Plus, that they had managed to get in. Remember how Bamboo had that one security exploit way early when the machines came out, and they fixed it within a couple weeks? I spoke to somebody who got in before that happened, and they were telling me some stuff they found in there, and it's like, it's just spaghetti code. It's like you could tell multiple different teams from different backgrounds worked on this, because it's like certain things that, you know, are implemented very like clean and elegantly in other printer firmwares were like kit bashed in. And it's like, yeah, you could, it doesn't run Clipper, it's not running Marlin, it is its own firmware, but it is spaghetti. Thoughts on Octo Everywhere? I've never used it. I've never really had a need to connect my printers outside the internet or outside my house. Some good chats on the Xbox design process secure the console. Oh yeah, well nobody's gonna go and, you know, soft mod their controller on a Bamboo probably. I mean, it can be done. I've seen some not public stuff that was pretty cool, but the average person ain't gonna bother with that. Right, come in. That might be this week's video or next week's video. I've got 2 more videos from Rocky Mountain left. One of them is just a video with Big Tree Tech about all the new stuff they got coming out. The other one is going to be a kit bash of like 3 or 4 different interviews. So, you know what? Here, we'll do a poll. We will do a poll. 1 second here. Start a poll. What video this week? New BTT stuffs or several small box in one? Vision miner. I can't read ball. There you go. What do you want? So you have 2 options. Either a single video that's just all the new stuff Big Tree Tech is coming out with, or a video that has like 3 or 4 different smaller interviews, 8-track, Vision Miners, printer, LulzBot, and I think 1 more. So whatever one you pick, that'll be Thursday's video. Whatever one you don't pick will be next week's video. Simple as that. Okay, so what do we got here? What do we got? We got black, green, and then hopefully the Flexi Spot video will be the prints for your printer room or the prints for your computer room video will be this weekend. So you might get 2 videos this week. There we go. Oh yeah, there's similar. Well, people want Big Tree Tech. My video with Big Tree Tech is like a full video. It's like me and Luke just talking and showing off all the cool stuff they got. I kind of like my format. I kind of like my format with these videos. I think they do pretty okay. They don't do banger numbers, which I fully expect not to. I mean, they're just talking from a trade show. But I think I like my format of them. Needs more likes? Okay, hit the like button then. Luke? Yeah, Luke, the Big Tree Tech guy. Big Tree Kraken, do you work with, are you asking the Kraken or asking me? Bigger Jack, I speak English sometimes. It's 2160s. 2160s. Are you getting any traction on the videos? Has Schwartz had any pack? Not really. I'll be honest, you want to know what's absolutely hilarious? This year, I'm like, I'm going to do videos every week. And except for like 2 weeks, I think I had a video a week so far this year. Guess what it's done to my view rate on my channel? It's the same. It hasn't really changed anything. It hasn't changed anything. I don't put out viral, I don't do clickbaity, shitty viral shit. I do the videos I want to do, and they do okay. But, you know, not even making minimum wage on them for the amount of work they take. What has gone up is my sub count. My sub count's gone up a little bit more than it has usually. I'm primarily a streamer. The majority of my channel growth and numbers are from streaming. Simple as that. Why do you think I partnered with Gamer Subs? I stream. They got a new cup. It's called Fix Me. You should buy it. Code Canuck Creator, 10% off. TNL is a very clickbaity channel. It's a job. For him, it's a job. I mean, technically for me, this is a job. But I came at it from a different angle. Can you live comfortably with YouTube stuff and feed your family? I've been doing it for 2 years. I've been full-time YouTube for 2 years. Over 2 years now. Is it a little stressful at times? Yeah. But I'm lucky. I'm going to say I'm lucky because my cost of living is pretty low. My cost of living is pretty low. I worked in a trade for several years that paid pretty okay. And I don't have any major debt. And we have a little nest egg saved up so we can pay off our mortgage quick and whatnot. So I'm lucky. My expenses are pretty low. Am I getting rich doing this? Hell no. I'm actually making less than when I worked at the shop. It's just my cost of living has gone down because I don't commute as much. We don't need a babysitter. It's basically kind of worked out pretty good. Plus, stress level has gone way down. I'm not going to go into a bunch of personal stuff, but let's just put it this way. I'm a lot better off doing this. It's more a hustle than a job. Well, I mean, if your previous channel is slinging crypto, what do you expect? Can't forget about the mental health. Yep. It's funny. In a lot of ways, this is a lot less stressful than my old job, but in a lot of ways, it's not. Like, you remember, you know, on my birthday stream where my channel got taken down and I wasn't allowed to stream, where they told me, oh, you can't stream for 90 days. Telling somebody whose entire, you know, living depends on streaming because I held a 3D printed prop. So be a full-time YouTuber. It is. I know it's only going to last so long. I fully understand this is not a long-term thing. As long as I get, honestly, as long as I get enough that the little guy gets old enough that he, you know, out of his early years of school and whatnot, I'll be fine. Will I build one? If they send me a kit, I'll build one. Simple as that. Happiness doesn't come from money. It comes from making things you like. And obviously, number one is family. That is true. However, I will say having money does help. Money doesn't buy happiness, but it removes a lot of the things that cause stress that prevent happiness. Any long-term plans? Keep doing this until I need to get a job again. Simple as that. I'm gonna ride this train as long as I can. Remember, I never planned to be a YouTuber. I never went into this planning to be a YouTuber. I had a whole career set in the trades. I got my ticket, you know, licensed mold maker, tool and mold maker, and at any point I can always just go back into it. It's just, this kind of happened. Money doesn't buy happiness, but I'd rather cry in a Lamborghini. I'm not gonna disagree with you there. I am not gonna disagree with you there. I don't know. I know a bunch of people who work in this field. Maybe they find something, a little remote job or something. I don't know. Ride the train. This is for the choo-choo fun then. Mr. Deckel, €5. Cheers and appreciate. Oh, sorry, £5. No, that's euro. Cheers and appreciated. Okay, so that is that. So that is all the motors. So now I've got, or that is the big motors. So now we got a conundrum because I've got this one motor here that doesn't reach. I mean, I could just jam it in like this, but that ain't gonna work. We don't allow that. That new big tree tech. Okay, so the video on Thursday is gonna be big tree tech stuff. Got any more money? Zeus says. I know. I have a like. I drove. My car was like 11 years old. The only reason I got a new car is because my old car died, and I actually have to commute to events and whatnot. So I kind of need a somewhat competent vehicle. Dang it! I can't believe that. I wish that fit. Money doesn't buy happiness, but it will buy more space for printers. Unfortunately, not. There's nowhere. I've been looking for a shop. I'm so jealous of Joel's new setup. I have been looking for, better be a Toyota. It's a Subaru. I have been looking for a location to rent to do this channel out of. The problem is I live in the burbs. There's nothing near me. Like in that, like, you know, renting something in a commercial or industrial plaza. None of that exists around me at all. There's no like warehouses or anything near me. It's all houses. And you know what home prices are in Canada right now. They're stupid. So there's like, every now and then something pops up on Facebook Marketplace that would kind of work. Somebody had a 300 or 400 square foot garage. They wanted like $700 a month for. That was insulated. It had heating and cooling. And it was on like a farm property. So it's like they had a property out in the county and it was like, they had a couple acres and it was like attached, not attached to the house, but it had its own like driveway. So it's basically on their property, but it was like not like on their property. And it was like $500 or $600 a month. And I was like, ooh, that would be good. The problem was it was a 35-minute drive. I'm a YouTuber. I ain't driving 35 minutes to work. F that. PCB Way. Yeah, I gotta reach out to PCB Way. See if they'll do something. See if they'll just like, hey, if I just, you know, if I print your logo, can you like give me a couple $100 a month? You can get a tiny prefab home. The problem is you can't actually set those up. Getting tiny homes, like permission to set up a tiny home properly on a lot of land is a big hurdle in a lot of municipalities. Also, I can't do that. I live in the burbs. There are zoning laws. I can't build within X feet of a fence. It just wouldn't work. It just would not work putting something in my backyard. It would take up my whole backyard too. So plus I live in a cookie cutter raised ranch subdivision house. You can't really expand them that easily. Time to dig a bunker. Unfortunately not, because the moment you go down about 3 feet, you hit the water table here. I have a sump pump in my basement for a reason. So doing a whole Cullen Firs, digging out a bunker, yeah, no, that ain't happening. That ain't happening. It's all clay around me. Southern Ontario is all like former like boggy marshland. So it don't work. It don't work. It don't work. Attic, basement. We were in the basement before. I've moved to the garage because I have more room in the garage. But I still have the room in the basement. The problem is this is the work area and the basement is the hangout area. And in case you haven't noticed, we've been doing more work lately. I think we've only done like 1 or 2 streams in the basement this year. It's just like I've got 2 on-the-go cosplays I'm working on. I've got a bunch of printer builds and mods that we're working on. It's just, room goes away quick. Plus now I got the CNC. I haven't done anything with the Milo because I don't have room to work with it. So I'm planning to take over the other garage. I got to build a shed so I could take the stuff on the other side of the garage, put in the shed so I could take over the rest of the garage. Any progress on the power armor? No, that's on hiatus for a while. I'm probably going to end up reprinting a bunch of it too because I didn't like how some of it came out. The Helldiver's armor is almost ready for paint though. So we're living in small houses, no local government want to hit them with the fees, rates them. Oh yeah, I'm in Canada, and we have the same housing crunch we have. Yeah, a lot of countries have, so. Shed is the best thing. The thing with the shed is I can't do what Steve just put a shed on his house, and he's good to go. The problem is I live in Canada, eh? Any building I put up has to be properly insulated with heating and cooling. So you basically are building a house. You can't just like build a shed and work out of it, because like you think it gets hot out here. So all housing crises are artificially manufacturing. I mean, our government's bringing in 1,000 or 1 million students a year that don't even have room to live. Like back when I worked in the shop, this is like 5 years ago, I had a friend who was in their mid-20s. They were engaged. They had really good jobs, making decent money, and they couldn't buy a house because every house they bid on, they got outbid on, and then anything that they could get was not worth it. Go from -40, yeah, Southern Ontario. It goes from like with humidity to +40 Celsius, and in the winter it could get down to like -20 Celsius. So, Stargate would be good. Government to axe foreign ownership and penalize capital gains. Yeah, they need to do that, but they won't because they make money off of it. They won't do it. Plan should not be a house. Well, unfortunately, my retirement plan is die. Let's be honest, most of my generation's kind of screwed. I'm a millennial. I'm one of the older. When is millennial? Millennial. No, age. So millennial is, wow, really that big of a swath? So millennials are 81 to 96. I'm smack dab in the middle. So I was born in 88. So I'm smack dab in the middle of millennials. Yeah. Come out of college right into the 2008 crash. Yeah. So what's after millennials? Gen Z? That's 97 to 12. Oh, the Zoomers. So then what's the current generation? If the Zoomers ended at 2012, what's after Zoomers? Alphas, Gen Alpha. Oh. They're the TikTok kids, aren't they? Okay, we're gonna be ending the stream in a little bit here, just because we got more crimping to do, but we'll do that after, and then I gotta go get the little guy from school, so we gotta end it. I gotta get some food in me. I'm hungry. Whiny brats. Here's the thing: don't call the current generation whiny brats, because guess what? The generation before you called you a whiny brat. I'm a millennial. We were shit on our entire time. Guess what? Gen X was shit on their entire time. Every generation is a whiny brat compared to the older generation. So don't go. There's news articles from like 1910 complaining about the kids today. It's just a constant thing. It's just a constant thing. It's just media. It's just media. It's like how they constantly change designs and shit, and they just rotate through. It is what it is. Mr. Canuck, I know I wrote the article. You old then. I mean, I came out of college right into the 08 crash. And then it's like, once in a lifetime crash. Yay. And then we had another one. And then we had COVID. And then we have whatever current thing is because of Russia and all that shit. Like, everything's shit. And then the boomers bled everything dry, so we don't even have the social support nets that they had. School's overpriced and not worth it. Everything's going down. So, buy some gamer subs. Code Canuck Creator. 89 crash, Y2K. I remember Y2K. That was a big nothing burger. Y2K was a nothing burger. You wanna know what's funny? Banks, we knew Y2K was nothing was gonna happen because everything calculates everything into the future anyways. All banks and everything calculate timetables into the future anyway, so we all knew nothing would happen. We still have formal wear in my workplace. My manager sent me an angry letter for wearing jeans. Mortgage crash. Yeah, I remember my parents telling me their mortgage was like 18 or 19% interest, but the house was also like a fraction of what they cost nowadays. Mortgage rates. I know. So for those that don't know, in Canada, and I think a few other countries, your mortgage has a period, so right, like a 20 or 25 or 30 year mortgage, whatever it is, but you can only lock in your interest rate for 5 years. So every 5 years you have to refinance your mortgage. So last time I refinanced mine, I locked in at like 1.72%. It was great because my bank reached out and they're like, hey, you got to renew your mortgage. You have till this date. You should lock in now at 2 point something. And I'm like, I'm gonna wait a bit. And I waited till the very last minute, and then I locked in at 1.72 for 5 years. I was like, heck yeah. Right now it's like 6. So in a year and a half, when it comes up for renewal, I go from a 1.72% to like a 6 or whatever it's gonna be then. But right now it's like 6. But I'm paying advanced and I've saved enough. I've got enough in a nest egg. So the plan is basically just pay it off at that point. So you gotta, yeah, in the States, yeah, a lot in the States, you could have locked in for 30 years at that rate. You have 1.3 million at 7.35. And you know what the worst part is? You don't even have a let's be honest, you don't have a $1.3 million home. Your home is probably a $500,000 home. That's just so overinflated. Why do you have to do that? Because that's just how it is in Canada. Banks work, all the banks do a 5-year term for your mortgage. It's just, you have a period and then you have a term. So you have a fixed term, so you sign up for a 20, 25 or 30 year term. And then every 5 years you have to refinance it for either a fixed rate or a variable rate. And so many people got screwed on variable rates. I've seen so many news articles where people are like, you know, I bought my house 5 years ago and it was like 1 point something because we went with the variable. And then it all of a sudden my mortgage went from $2,000 a month to $4,000 a month. And it's like, you goofed. Why would you, when the rates are low, why would you lock in on a variable? Why? 1.4%. Oh, my house appreciated from 149 to 715 years. When we bought our house, it was market value 220. Right now it's like $500,000. The problem is, yes, I could sell my house now, pay off my mortgage, and have 400 grand cash. That'd be great. I would love to have 400 grand cash. The problem is, then I gotta buy a house. And I ain't buying this house for 400 grand. I'm buying a shack in the woods for 400 grand. Way out there. How else can I afford a house you can't afford? Get your leathers and hope for a collapse of civilization. We bought our first house for $135 and sold it 8 years later for $495. Oof. Your house is paid. Yeah, same with us. Like when we get our house paid off, like we're basically, our plan is to try to pay the house off as soon as possible, so that, you know, if everything goes to shit, we don't have a mortgage to worry about at least. And if everything goes really bad, worst case, we could sell our house for a lot of profit and then figure it out later after that. But yeah, like once we pay off our mortgage, we ain't going anywhere because there's no point. There's no point. There's only the 3 of us. And the house is in a good spot near schools and whatnot. It's a little on the small side, but we have a small family and there's no reason for us to move. Could always form a pyramid scheme and live out your golden years in Club Fed. I mean, let's be honest. Let's be honest. If you're in your 60s, 70s, and you're like, you know what? I can't afford retirement. Going to white collar, low security prison for your remaining days probably ain't too bad compared to some of the alternatives. Let's be honest. 3 hot meals, your own room. White collar prison ain't too bad, especially in most Western countries. If you're European, well, you probably don't even have to worry about that because you're European and you have actual proper social safety nets in place. But like, white collar prison probably ain't too bad. We're gonna do the giveaway in 4 minutes. We're done with the build for today. We'll continue on Friday. but we're gonna do the giveaway in 4 minutes. So if you haven't entered for your chance to win some Polymaker filament, link in the video description. And also, while you're down there, go check out the actual Polymaker affiliate link. I think they just restocked a bunch of stuff, so you go buy some filament dryers or something. And have all the boys. Okay, I actually know people who work in the prison system. It's not like that. At least in certain things. Also, it was a joke. Some people are okay. Who here has seen my short of the my short video on the Sub-Zero, the little V0 that prints calibration cubes? Who here, raise your hand if you saw that video. Okay? Raise your hand if you saw that video. If you didn't, why not? But anyways, okay. A bunch of people saw that video, okay? All it is a V0 that Namgria built with a bunch of spare parts he had on hand that prints calibration cubes. So it's a V0 just really small. All it does, it has like a 20 millimeter bed. It can print calibration cubes, that's it. So it's a dumb little fun thing he made to bring out for the show. The amount of comments I got from people thinking this was an actual printer that are like, why does this exist? This is completely impractical. Why would you waste parts and time making this? Nobody wants this. Like the amount of like vitriolic, like I just crushed their dream and told them Santa isn't real type of comments on that video. I've deleted a bunch of them because they're stupid. Not everything on the, like, not everything has to be for serious business. Sometimes a joke is a joke. Relax. So go check up on the ones that I left up. I left comments just saying the no fun zone is down the street. Same with the Flycron. Exactly. Like, oh my God, like so many people overthink stuff, I think. Like, I know 3D printing is a hobby attracts certain people, but I think a lot of people way overthink a lot of stuff sometimes. Way overthink a lot of stuff. It's like, hey, it's a cool, dumb little printer. That's cool. I'm gonna write a 20-paragraph article about why this shouldn't even exist, and you wasted your time and money doing it. It's like, dude, chill. Chill. Some people, well, the problem is, and here's the problem, rage baiting is a thing. I really hate that trend with social media where people just do stuff dumb on purpose for rage baiting because it's all about engagement, right? Websites don't care if it's positive or negative. It's all about engagement. So people will, because people respond to bait very easily. It's so easy. It's so easy, and people fall for it, and people will just feed into it. So rage baiting is like one of the trends I can't stand on the internet right now. So. My audio is going up. How many F do I want to see? All of them. Feed the algorithm. Speaking of feed the algorithm, let's do a giveaway. Cascade build when? Whenever there's a kit. Whenever. Wow. You could tell the giveaway. You could tell the giveaway is on a white background. Okay, so if you haven't entered for your chance, you'll have another chance on Friday. So let's open that up. Copy, A, delete, Control V. I need food. I am starving. I gotta start eating more in the morning. I'm back on the whatchamacallit, what's it called? Intermittent fasting thing. So in the morning, because I do have to eat something in the morning, otherwise I can't function. I have like a coffee and like a piece of toast or something, and then I don't eat anything till like after I pick up the little guy from school. So yeah, do these streams in the morning, like when I start at 2, next week we go back to 2 p.m. But these 11 a.m. streams, it sucks because I'm not hungry before the stream, but I just get starving by the end of the stream. Okay, I need a number between 3 and 30 because this is a VZBOT330. So I need a number between 3 and 30. 6. Thank you for not giving me a really high number to count to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, we're gonna wait for the oddball line to reach the arrow, and we're gonna start. Every time we get an oddball line, we're gonna do this from now on until we get it. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Round and around it goes. Where she stops, it'll be, oh, it's gonna make it. Oh shit. Nope. Dang it. One day. One day. Congratulations, James. Congratulations, James. Congratulations, James. Oh, also, whoever it was that won last week, reach out to me. Your email bounced back. Your email didn't work. I know who you are. I know what you answered for the question. I need you to reach out to me. I'm not going to say your name because I'm going to have a million people try and reach out. Super annoying. If you won last week, you know. So you watched the stream, hopefully. If you don't reach out, you don't reach out. Sorry. But your email bounced back. No reply. Or no, it's not a valid email. So this is your like, hey, hit me up. Discord or something because your email didn't work. This is your one warning. Okay, so congratulations, James. You will get an email from me after the stream ends with information on how to collect your filament from Polymaker. Woo! Okay, we're gonna call it there because I need to get some food to eat. I'm thinking chocolate chip Pop-Tarts. Or no, Eggos. Chocolate chip Eggos. Why? Because I have some, and I forgot I had some. So I'm gonna make some of those. Was he? No, that wasn't that one. So we're gonna call it there. We will continue with this on Friday. We'll continue wiring up on Friday. I'll go pick up some actual spade connectors so I don't have a death trap wiring thing going on here. But yeah, we'll continue with this on Friday, and then we'll move on from there. So shout out to we'll give a shout out to Big Tree Tech for sending the Kraken that we use for this build or for this mod. I do plan on putting a beacon in here and maybe a tube if I can figure out how to get the tube to mount, because this is I don't know how the tube mounts on this. We'll see. If I can figure out how to get the tube on here, we'll do a tube. Because it's a CNC mount. So hopefully the whole pattern is the same. If it's not the same, we'll figure it out from there. But yeah. And then also shout out to Polymaker for the spool of filament we gave away this stream and every stream. And along with shout out to GamerSupps. Get 10% code off GamerSupps, code Canuck Creator. Links for that and more in the description. Some of them are affiliate links. Don't cost you anything extra. Go a long way in supporting the channel. The tube is supported by the XOL. Yes, but this doesn't have an XOL. This has whatever the CNC tool head is for the VZBOT. And I don't want to change it. Because part of me building these machines is trying to keep them as stock as possible to see how they perform long term. It's easier to make opinions on stuff when you leave it alone. So we're going to call it there. Lastly, for those that donate to the channel, gifted memberships to others, or became members of the channel yourself, I thank you. Cannot do the things I do and create the content I create without your continued support. You make it all possible. Video Thursday, up early Wednesday for channel members and supporters. Sorry for last week's video, wasn't up early. I forgot to hit post. I had the video ready and everything. I just forgot to push it live. I had my timer was set up wrong. So yeah, so we're calling it there. I'm gonna go make some food. It's Tuesday. Enjoy the rest of your week. Be safe out there. Wash your hands, and I will see you on Friday. Goodbye.